All right, we're live. This is day 3 of hunting, day 4 of in the field, and the third episode of the Caribou Hunt podcast. So I have here with me, I have Justin Mueller, Michael Paladino, and if you are listening to the audio version, just a reminder, head over to YouTube, my YouTube channel, Beau Martonik, and you can watch the video version. And we're actually joined by a couple more guests here today.
The booze.
We got a couple teaser. Got a couple bull caribou sitting here with us, which are increasing the amount of bugs that are swarming us at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, gentlemen, today was just absolutely epic, to say the least.
Yeah, it was everything we were kind of waiting for and hoping
When we
for.
talked about this hunt in the camp, day 1, day 2, what we really kind of envisioned the hunt being slowly became what the hunt was. And it came together like pretty funny, which is on par for how we hunt and how we are just in general.
I wouldn't have expected anything less.
Not one less. Nope.
No, yeah. Us in general, me and Michael, and I feel like Justin's been a part, he's been hunting with us in a couple hunts now, but like he fits right into the group really well, I would say. And yeah, we woke up this morning, again, another, fogged in day and raining.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we snoozed through the alarm because why go out and sit in the fog when we get some extra rest? And about 7:15, I woke up to see if the fog cleared. And I looked out and I'm like, hey, Michael, it's cleared a little bit. And I was like, all right. So I got up and was setting up the binoculars here just to start glassing and seeing what was going on. And Justin came out. He's like, let's do a little recap for the film. So he's talking to me about how yesterday went and, what our expectations were for the day. And I just got done saying, like, well, from what we've seen, the caribou are going to be up high. So I think we're going to be hiking our asses off today to go get them. And as I'm saying this, same thing that happened in the filming for the elk hunt last year, the Synergy film. Literally, while on camera, I just sucked in a bug. So that's not what happened last year.
Yeah.
But I'll wash it down with. We got Jim Beam vanilla and also some Yukon Jack in a flask here. That's now we're able to celebrate a little bit here. But anyways, so as I'm sitting there talking to Justin, I'm looking through the binos. First spot I hit, luck of the draw. I don't care how you can call me more lucky than good. I don't care because this is how it went. And also I see bull caribou in the bottom, 500 some yards from camp. I was like, Michael, get up, let's go. And
I'm in the sleeping bag.
Michael's in
in all my
bag.
sleeping clothes.
And what would you call it? Your sleeping? What'd you call it? Your sleeping pants?
My sleeping pants and socks.
No, it's night pants or something like that.
I don't know. Something.
Yeah, you had a funny word
ridiculous.
for it.
Yeah.
So we get up, rushing
My bedtime
frantically.
pants.
Bedtime
My
pants,
bedtime
that's what it
pants.
was, yep.
Yeah. So we're rushing around frantically to get stuff because these caribou, as we discussed in the other episodes, they move fast and they're going. So, like I said, this podcast had no intro to get into it. This is what happened on day 3 of hunting. Like, we woke up right into it, grabbed all of our stuff, and grabbed our guns and just took off down the creek bottom because they seemed like they were heading towards the creek bottom. And we were running it down, and again, I'd kind of looked at Onyx from ahead of time and saw the drainage coming down, and we kept losing them, which looked like they were just behind this topography feature. There was a little drainage that came down. So, which helped us for cover. So we were able to run down that creek bottom essentially.
Yeah, get on their side and hug that side right along the willows and cover ground quick because you have to.
Yep. And then I was like, maybe we should stay in the creek bottom. And Michael's like, no, I think we should get up on this bank and try to get through the willows and be able to see him there. So that's what we ended up doing.
Didn't want to get caught in the creek bottom because then you don't have a good rest. You're laying down in a river, yada, yada. Just the creek bottom was not where I wanted to be. No vantage.
So explain a little bit what, happened from there. As Justin's following us around with his cameras in a complete kind of frantic, in-your-face mode.
Yeah, the whole morning was like that, right? Like, just to back up, Beau was like, caribou, and we didn't have anything ready. Michael went from sleeping to running after a caribou in a matter of, 5 minutes.
Oh, I was in bed
Yeah.
and on the creek bottom in, probably 5 minutes.
Yeah. We were just threw all of our stuff together. But once we got, through the creek, we kind of were making very snap decisions because, like Beau just said, they're moving very fast. So there's really no time to kind of sit and plan. You kind of have to make a decision and just stick with it and go.
Yep.
And Michael made the right call there to get up on top and kind of try to find a clearing, try to find a way to get eyes on them.
Totally
Which
agree.
was weird because, I don't want to say weird, I'm glassing where they were and kind of where they were heading.
Less than 10 minutes ago.
And Beau goes, dude, look to your right. And we literally pan across the river, the creek. I consider this a river.
This is a river.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side, there they are going up over the hill. I'm like, oh my goodness, they literally covered hundreds of yards.
Oh yeah.
In
probably 300-400 yards.
in our full out sprint, 150.
Yeah. And they were just feeding.
And they were feeding. Yeah, they weren't running.
No clue we were there. They got on the other side. I'm like, all right, let's go. And then I laid down, and I had alders all around, so I couldn't get a good rest that way. And I'm like, they're just kind of like chilling. I'm like, I think we could just get closer. So we ran all the way to the bank, like up on the top there. And
There's a caribou like 100 yards when we're doing this. And I'm like, oh.
And I didn't see that caribou.
Yeah. Okay.
And I didn't see that. I just saw the ones up on the bank, but there was some in the creek
Yeah,
bottom.
we were in there mixing it up with them because there was caribou in front of us, on the side of us.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
We were in them.
So kind of like elk hunting, got super aggressive right in the middle of it. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
And so we did that. We got up there, and I think, Michael, you yelled out a range. Did you yell out a range?
Yeah, because I ranged them first because I thought they were borderline for me.
As far as
And it was,
shooting.
and I think it was 250 on the nose for the bottom ones and 300 for the top ones.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds about right.
And so they came out, and we both picked bulls. We're like, all right. I said, I'll shoot the light antlered one, and Michael picked the dark antlered one.
I picked the one with the most points on top. Not to say it was the biggest, just one I could keep an eye on.
Yep.
And Beau's looked so hard-horned compared to all the others. And if you can see it in this video right here, it is very light compared to this one.
Very light.
And you'll probably even see it in the film. I'm not sure how the final cut will look, but I mentioned it even after I shot him. I'm like, I shot the only hard-horned caribou in there because how light his antlers were, or the velvet. And so we get set up, and we were going to do the whole 1, 2, 3, shoot type of deal. And once we were on them, and they were moving around.
It was such
difficult.
a shit show.
I think I heard Remy Warren one time say, like, if you ever try to do a 3-2-1, it will never work.
Yeah.
So just shoot one and then shoot another one. And no matter how hard we would have tried to do 3-2-1, that would have been a perfect situation for that to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And even the way we were set up, it would have been hard because we were in shoulder high
Oh, yeah.
brush. So you were kind of sitting in a little clearing pointing out across the river.
Mm-hmm.
To get you two side by side on perfect rest with caribou. I mean, it would have just.
And the caribou are still feeding, so they're still walking at like way faster than what you'd want them to ever be moving.
Yeah, and it makes you kind of get rushed because
Yes.
they're not getting away, but at the same time they kind of are just because
Yeah.
they're feeding side to side.
They weren't scared because they didn't. It's not like
Yeah.
we didn't spook them.
Yeah.
That's just how fast
walking
they
so
move.
damn fast.
Yeah, and they were going to their next location, and they had no reason to mill around on that creek on the side hill there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, finally, I'm like, I'm on him, and Justin's like, I'm on him, and Michael's like, just shoot. I'll get set up after that.
Mine
So I
was facing away.
So I was sitting on my ass, and I had my elbow up on my knee, pretty solid rest, and it was, again, between 250 and 300 yards. And I put it on him, and I shot, and I watched my bull drop. And I was like, oh, my, this is awesome. But, all right, instantly, went from excited to, all right, Michael's up.
Yep.
So trying to figure that out. And then he was having trouble where he was because the bushes being high, getting a good sight on him, all this stuff. And, Michael, you go from there.
So I'm trying to get to where Beau was because that was really kind of the only real good spot. And now my caribou are out for what I wanted to shoot. And they were getting close. So I was like, okay. So I get myself situated, shoot, miss. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, this gun shouldn't be off. Shoot again, miss. Now these caribou are what, 400?
Yeah.
So I'm like, Beau, give me your gun. Shoot again. Miss again. And I was like, I should not be doing this. This is too far for me. I can't keep doing this. So I think that's when I decided to run up over the hill.
we kind of then like settled down, like what should we do? And it was like
That's,
regroup,
and that's a
hit it.
big thing, right? What you did right there was to be able to analyze, like, okay, something's not right with my gun.
Oh yeah, that too.
But-
which I looked down, and my gun has the top post has this hard 0 that you set, and it sets at a hard 0. Yeah, the top turret, a hard 0, and it's a 200 0. And then I know my clicks from there for my 300 and then my 400. So it's a set 200, which is 0 to 200, and this gun shoots very well at 200, very well at 300, and I shoot a lot with a lead sled just to make sure my gun's good, and then I shoot offhand, freehand, bench, and that's kind of like the way I was shooting leading up to this. And I was like, I should not have been missing like this. Nothing against me. I'm not that great of a shot, and I just look at my turret, and it's not where it needs to be. I said, this should be at like 22, but I can't make a guess. And I'm not making an excuse by any means, because then I took Beau's gun, which is a virtual sniper rifle. Yeah. The way it's set up, like, that gun is unreal. It has half the recoil mine does. It's the same gun. It is just set up to shoot very well at long range. And I missed again, so then it was 100% me. So I said, all right, I'm done. I can't just keep doing this.
Yeah.
So at that point, Mike was like, I feel more comfortable just going after them on my own. They were coming up over the hill, and they kind of just went over this dip out of sight. And so we stayed back in glass watching kind of where they went, and Michael ran up over.
And the cameraman adds a layer to it, just because that's just not how I hunt.
Yeah.
But
which is fine. And so Michael went up on his own and kind of talked. Well, actually, I'm going to give one from my point of view first. So I see Michael going up over the hill, and I spot the back of a caribou, and Michael's getting close. And I was like, he definitely doesn't see it, because the angle that he was at was different to where we were. And I'm like, oh, geez, this is about to get interesting. So I'm just sitting there watching through my Mavens, and let's go from there.
I go up and make a long jaunt up around to cut the 2 front caribou off. Make sure I'm looking. I'm like, shoot, those aren't the bulls I was shooting at, because I wasn't changing my bull just to kill a bull. Yeah. Or I wasn't just because who knows? This could have been laying there. I could have wounded it, like did a terrible shot. It didn't look wounded. So, but I was like, I can't change bulls. That's unethical on me, because I've already shot multiple times at this thing. Like, I emptied my gun out on it.
Multiple.
Yeah, I don't. That's my multiplication.
Yeah.
So I find it, and I'm like, okay, there he is. And where he was, it was just one hump with a ton of willows. So I watched his head, and I kept watching the tops. And when I'd see his tops kind of turn, I would crouch run down around, and I worked down around behind it so I could get on the same plane he was. And then there's 2 more big bushes between him and I. So every time he put his head down to feed, I literally like crouch run and get in range. And I range the top of his antlers, and it's 55 yards. I'm like, here we go. So I sit down, and I use my pack, and all the willows were over his vitals. So I get back behind the bush again, just to get myself really ready this time, because like next time I come out, I'm going to make sure he's perfectly broadside. It's 55 yards. This is a slam dunk. Perfect bow range. A perfect bow setup, because you almost had to be standing up to shoot this caribou. So I stand up just offhand, bury it on his shoulder, shoot, and the caribou just goes down. And I was just like, finally, yes. Like, that was a lot of work, when I could have just pegged him on the river bank, and I didn't.
Well,
so
let's jump back to my perspective, all right?
Yep,
so I see Michael, and I lost him. We lost him. So Justin and I are kind of talking a little bit, and all of a sudden we hear because he grabbed my gun, because his was obviously off from his turret being screwed up. So I hear the Bergera rip, and I'm like, and I hear, wow, this is,
Yeah.
Yep.
because I knew they couldn't say, I was like, yee! Because normally when I shoot, and you're expecting a couple more follow-ups coming.
Yeah.
So I wanted to let the guys know, because I couldn't see them. Had no clue where they were, so I was hoping they were, had a good understanding. This is where it is. I'm 100% good. We're set. We're done.
Yeah. And when Justin was like, did he shoot one? I was like, that yell kind of made it seem like he did. And all of a sudden, I look, and I can see Michael going across the skyline. I'm watching through my binos, and I see the antlers sticking up, and him pick up the antlers. And I was just like,
That was cool.
Just
Justin was like,
so pumped.
I can't believe like you shot, and I just saw you walking, so I didn't think you actually shot it at a caribou. I was like, dude, I had my pack on. I was standing free when I shot it, and it went right down. I was already on the move.
Yeah, well, I heard a shot, and I look over, and you were already walking.
Yeah.
So I was so confused because I was like, what's happening? But then you told me the story afterwards, and it made sense. But at the time, I was like, is he just messing with us? And just, like, I had no idea what was
Ripping
actually
rounds
happening.
and rip around.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think Michael would do that, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past him either.
It went down. I went over, and I was like, this is exactly the caribou I shot at every time because it had multiple points going up the top. And for some reason around here, a lot of them have 3 or 4 on top.
Yeah.
And it can be a huge frame bull. You know, Beau's has big double shovels, which is super unique.
Double shovel.
Big front, or his front claws, I'm going to call them, actually come and hook all the way back around. And it's just a unique bull. And then this bull stuck out because it had 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points on the one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other. So it stuck out, and it was a very easy bull to pick out. And when I went over, hit him once, which, you know, I was happy I only hit him once, but also it was like, wow, I really missed that bull every time I shot, but got him and met these guys, and it was awesome.
So, yeah, that was so cool. And, like, to describe our bulls, which is so cool because they're so different, but at the same time. Like we said, like, not one of them is really bigger than the other. It's just different features. Like, mine has a bigger frame and double shovels, which is super cool and unique.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And Michael's has a little bit of a tighter frame, but it's got points everywhere, and just, like, as you can see in the video, just stacked. It looks so cool. And his is a darker velvet, darker animal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Way
mine,
darker animal.
And mine was a lighter velvet and lighter animal.
I would have to say I'm not a biologist, so I have no, like, true, but when I looked at Beau's bull down, I would have to say his was older, had a bigger gray mane, had bigger gray, like, just bigger features, was a bigger bull, which leads me to believe it was a older caribou.
Yeah.
And the gray horn color. But then you look at it, and like Beau said, his only has 3 points on the top, but his double shovels really just sets that bull off. Yeah. When I saw that, I told my girlfriend before we went, I was like, I'm getting double shovel caribou. That's all. Like, that's it. So then when his had it, I was like, dude, that is awesome.
And excuse me for not knowing, like, that was such a big of a deal. Michael's like, I haven't watched any caribou videos on YouTube that had
all of our sheds here, there's no sets of that.
Yeah, that have a double shovel, like that have anything like that. And so then obviously I had to make a smart ass comment that I said I wasn't shooting anything other than a double shovel.
It's not
Of course it has a double
There's
shovel.
people that definitely get out and get them for sure. Like they are out there, but it's just a unique feature that you don't see on every bull.
Yeah,
you get like mine. You get a shovel, and then you get I'm going to call it a spear, which isn't the right terminology, but that's what I'm going to call it. All the sheds we have laying over here aren't like that, and I'm going to say I haven't seen a caribou yet that you could pick out distinct double shovels. I didn't see it on Beau's bull, so that kind of might mean that there have been some out there. Yeah. But I mean, normally you get, like, I knew mine didn't have it before I shot it, but that's just.
Yeah,
I knew it, but it's just cool to see just the uniqueness of both the bulls.
So at that point, then we had a lot of work to do. Like, we're like, we have 2 caribou now. Luckily, this was, between 8 and 9 in the morning, all this happened. So we're like, all right, we got a lot of work to do.
I was in bed at 7:15 and caribou down at 8.
So first thing we did was we snapped some photos and some video of Michael's bull, and then Michael gutted it to open it up and let it cool to make sure the meat was fine while we went down to mine, took some photos, and started butchering mine. Well, as we're down taking photos of mine across the creek, right where we shot the other ones, 4 more bulls come across. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you think, 250 yards from us?
Oh,
at that
yeah.
point?
Yeah.
And
in my range.
And one was a giant. Bigger than both of ours by far.
Ours aren't big by any means. They're not huge like record. They're not, but they're very good representations of what's out here. And the one we saw,
that was a joke.
Oh, he on his tops, he had splits, like mule deer splits.
Yeah, on multiple.
And you could just see even the body size of that thing was significant.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could just tell by looking at him, like, that's a big one.
And when he turns back, and his mass or his width is just a lot bigger than all the others around. When they're walking away, you're like, holy smokes, look at the frame on that one. And then when he turns and he has multiple splits on his tops, And I know he wasn't a double shovel. He was not for sure.
Yeah.
And he just had a big shovel and a big dagger. I was like, that is a big caribou. Holy smoke.
Yeah.
That thing is huge.
But how funny is that? Like the previous 3 days hanging out at camp and hiking around, we didn't have any caribou within 2 miles of camp.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden in one day, they all just funneled through. And that's
all
just
on the bottom.
I guess that's where the patience side of things comes into it. But
I
yeah.
would say to be patient coming back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
It was more
and
fun
not
doing that. But
Patience and us kicking them off the tops brought them down.
oh, yeah. We did hard bump.
We did Pennsylvania deer drives across the top to get them to come down.
2 days later.
Yeah, we got them.
So so then we started, basically after got some photos and Justin absolutely killed it with the trophy photos, and just like not trophy photos like from your standpoint of your typical grip and grin, like he just captured every moment of that to an extent that like I can't wait to be able to share these pictures and the videos, because it's just, again, Justin, I'm not trying to pump your head up any bigger than it already is, but like I want to definitely say like it was awesome, and I'm gonna relive this forever. The fact to be able to see that, and so we started butchering the bulls as we're going through and moving it, and Justin is I hired him as a camera guy essentially, but does way more than that. Like,
oh yeah,
helping cut up the meat, packed all the meat, like did everything with us, like part of the process.
This is the second time he's done that.
Yeah, he did it for my elk.
This isn't just like hey, I'm here, what else am I going to do? It's like Justin gets in, where do you want me? What should I hold? It's extremely helpful. A caribou isn't a huge animal, so it can be done with 2 people, but 3 people made it go so quick. When you have a leg out of your face, so you can skin and quarter, and I'm so thankful that you're like, hey, my job's done, I'm done, and just sit back. That's not the way it is.
Yeah, well, I know I've talked about this on previous podcasts, but like I got into photography and filming hunts because I love hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I'm at a spot where I'm good on photos, good on video, maybe shot a little extra, now I'm part of the hunt. Now I put the camera down for a little bit and I can enjoy the process of the hunt. So it's like, yeah, I'll help you, pack meat down. I'm not going to come down empty,
Yeah.
And even like just part of the skinning and stuff, like I'm not afraid to, get in there and help, because that's the stuff I love doing. Actually, when I'm filming that, I kind of miss it a little bit, so it's nice to get done with everything and be able to help you guys finish up and wrap everything up and get back down to camp.
Yeah, and that's such a huge feature, because like I think you're here filming it, but you're another hunting partner essentially to us, and that's like a big deal. You're not like I always thought of like filming hunts, because I never had it really happen, but I thought of it almost like as a burden, like this extra guy that you're dragging along.
Yeah,
but that's not the case.
Keeps up way better than
never bitches. Me and Michael bitch back and forth all the time. Justin
all the
just
time.
Keeps going.
Find that on the video proof. Don't got any.
No,
none. No, like we're going up through terrible stuff in grizzly country, and Justin's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready. Like, no gun. Yeah, I'm good. Come on, let's go. And we get to the top, and it's torrential downpours. Like, Justin, you want to stop and get, yeah, I got it. No worries. Keeping up. We're not the greatest hikers, but Justin definitely keeps up by, I haven't seen him fall behind on any of the hunts we've been on.
Not even close.
Which is awesome, because then you're like, man, what the hell is this guy doing back there?
Yeah, well, it's nice, too, because I just came off Nevada, so I was fresh.
Yeah.
That 8-mile hike was nothing compared to what we were doing back there.
Yeah.
So I was ready. I cheated a little bit.
So,
well, the Tundra added to it, but.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's all the stuff I love. I mean, I could be shooting weddings, could be shooting newborns like you guys we were talking about earlier, but I want to go hunting. So, yeah, if it's pouring rain and there's a grizzly between us and the caribou, but we're going up, like, of course I'm coming with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say I ruined my bedtime clothes. Now when it gets cold tonight, I'm going to be slightly disappointed.
Bedtime clothes.
So, all right, so we got it all butchered up, and we started packing my caribou out first, since Michael was up there cooling with the guts out of it. And we got ours back to camp, which wasn't nearly the pack out if I would have shot the other one. So that was nice. we got all the meat back in one load.
450 yards versus 4.5 miles.
And
a little different.
And so in Alaska, just to give you a little background, like in Alaska, you have to take, you have to take all the meat by law, which I think is a great law to have. But you have to, I had never packed out like on my elk. I didn't take the ribs.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like debone this stuff. Yeah, everything has to be bone in. So we had bone in front shoulders, back quarters, and then also the rib meat, tenderloins, back straps, and the neck meat. So we got some extra stuff there. We've packed it all out together, and it wasn't terrible.
No, that was pretty good.
It was pretty manageable. So we got that back, and then went back for Michael's and started doing the same thing. At that point, none of us really had any food or
no food, no water.
That's like the story every time we pack something out.
Yeah,
That is, yeah. Last time we had no water either.
Yeah.
and so Michael was freaking. He's the butcher and king. Like when we're going there, like I'll 100% say it. Like he led the thing, and I was more of an assistance to the case because he's good at it. I think he likes it.
I do. I thoroughly enjoy butchering animals.
Yeah, and then I'd be going through the front shoulder. He's like, "Bo, you nicked it here a couple times." I was like,
just call him out.
I was like, "Yo, Bo, we're trying to keep that front shoulder in one piece." He's like, "Yeah."
That's like his
He's like,
passive
"Yeah."
aggressive way.
Yeah, right. Like he's trying to be nice, but it's not nice at all.
But no, nothing against it. It's just like that's not something Bo isn't meant to do. Like he'll tell you, I don't like gutting animals. Yeah. I just don't like gutting animals.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I can't shoot 300 yards.
Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing I definitely can't do is I can't get creative to tell you what picture looks good or what's going to look good, but I can definitely critique at the back end. I'm a good
Funny how that works,
I'm
right?
a good critic, but I have no clue on the front end. But that's why it's such a fun time. Like last year we hunted with John and Mace, and we all had this group of just different aspects that work good together. And this year again we had a good group of good aspects, and that is the big thing when you do these hunts and you're going to spend money on doing these hunts. Even if it's not a spending money and it's a spending time, make sure you're doing it with the people that are going to like help you pick up where you're not good at, and have a well-rounded team is way better than having a bunch of just, it makes a big difference when you have each other's like downfalls is your strong point.
Yeah, and I think that you nailed that right on the head. Like, you got to have good people around and people that push each other with it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael challenges my opinions on things, and I challenge his, and Justin does the same for both of us. And like that's what makes us better. That's what makes our group opinion on things is what ends up getting it. Because I don't know everything with it. Michael don't know everything. Justin doesn't. But together we figure it out.
Yeah, we're halfway there when we're all together. At least
I'm acting super cocky, like we figure it out all the time. But that's just looking back.
But that's a video thing.
But I will say too, like going off what Michael said, like having a good group, right? Like if you're on a whitetail hunt and the weather's good, the hunting's good, and you're with people that you don't care for, it's kind of whatever sometimes. But when you're on a hunt like this, where you might get reined in for hours with the same people, and you're working your butt off and doing you're traveling, like the logistics, like I'll say it, like this hunt is stressful from the fact of because there's just a huge unknown. Mm-hmm. We didn't know how COVID was going to act. We didn't know the flights. We didn't know the weather getting out here. Right away there wasn't as many caribou as we, I guess, had our hopes up for, and then it was raining all the time. Like having a good, solid group to keep morale up is huge on hunts like this.
Oh, for sure. And it's very easy to get down. I mean, it's a lot easier to get down than when it's shitty to get each other like, hey, we're getting something tomorrow. And I don't know how, I heard that every day. Tomorrow's the day we're killing. And it's not like being overconfident. It's just tomorrow literally can be the day. Hang tight. This rainstorm's terrible. That hike was tough. We're soaking wet.
We laugh
tomorrow's the day.
And it's not like that we're saying, oh, this is great. Like, this is fun. A lot of times it's not. But
a lot of times it sucks.
It sucks, but
elk hunting's that way big time.
You have to embrace the suck.
Our way of doing that, like everything is laughing and then not making fun of each other.
Oh,
and that's just like the way we bash on each other so hard at every second of the day that if you're soft at all, you're screwed. You're done.
Justin did have to say to me today, Michael, I'm joking, which I knew, but it was just we busted our butt, so I had no response to what he was talking shit
Sometimes you make a joke and you get like an Eve line. It's like, just kidding. Sorry. Went too far that time.
No, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. That again, the camaraderie of it, which was like a big part of the Synergy film last year. And when we were packing out Michael's bull, it was kind of funny, thinking back at the end of that film, I'd said there, I was like, if either, Mason, Michael, John, any of those guys ever get something down, I'm there to be able to repay the favor and help it out, which I also made Michael work more before that. But anyways, it was kind of like a full circle type deal of like, I'm packing out his meat, coming out too, and
not even that. I wouldn't have got the caribou if I wasn't able to borrow your gun. Something that simple. Yep. Just something very easy. My gun was off. My 200 wasn't set. My fault. I should have taken it easy. Beau said, "Here, it's on.
Take this, go get
It.
Yep.
And here's 4 rounds." I'm like, well, I don't need 4.
Here's 8.
Yeah.
He's like, I only need a take more, Mike. Take it.
Yeah. So that's just the way it is, though. When you get to those situations, it's best just to be with a good group of guys. Now you can get by. And I would love to do the solo thing, but I really think you miss out on this type of hunting. A little bit of the solo aspect would be unique, but also with the solo hunting aspect, you miss out on this. Yeah. Like, we have this podcast going, but if we're not, we're still laughing, joking, making fun of each other, tearing each other down, but also very quickly after picking each other up and being like, this is a goal we should all set forth for each other, like telling each other where we'd like to see each other.
Yeah.
In a couple years, a year, 2 years, plans. Yeah. And it's
a very
awesome.
Positive vibe here. Like, okay, so we are here together for 20 hours of daylight a day, essentially, not getting a ton of sleep. I mean, we're napping here and there and getting, we're filling in, but like when you spend that kind of time with people, it's difficult with most people not to get like super annoyed or like I am not good with being around people for long periods of time. I'll be the first to admit that. But like at this point, there hasn't been a point where like I felt like, fuck, get me out of here. Like it's just all we go back and forth and bicker like we're brothers, but like that's the way it is.
You're up 20 hours in a row. I can't tell you how that it wouldn't happen.
And I never felt like I even had time to like. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to bring a book to read or something. Like I didn't have time for that. Yeah.
I was like, man, I didn't bring a book. I wouldn't have picked that up yet.
No,
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow because we don't got a lot to do. But
maybe
we'll find.
Tomorrow might be a long day.
I bet you we'll be up over there somewhere.
I hope we are.
Yeah, we're gonna go hiking for sure.
First thing is weather.
We do have a wolf tag yet, but
we're gonna go on an 8-mile wolf hike tomorrow.
Yeah, we're not done.
I wonder if 2 wolves makes a grizzly.
2 wolf tag eagles, 1 grizzly tag. I heard in Alaska.
Better get a hold of back at camp and see what they say.
Yeah. I'll let you do that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the story could get wild a little more. We got a lot of meat smell around camp. We got as you can see, we got a lot of shit going on. But it sounds like we might end up getting picked up early. One for meat care and stuff if they're able to do that. If not, we'll be able to take care of it and keep it cool for the next 5 days, 4 or 5 days,
whatever it is. 4 days.
So whatever it is, we'll be fine. We'll make it through. And but nonetheless, it's just an absolute adventure to say the least. And anybody that's ever thought about doing this hunt, like, do it.
Oh my goodness, Alaska in itself has to be a bucket list if you travel.
Yeah, just the adventure to get here alone is awesome. Riding in the plains and everything, and
plan an Alaska trip, get a bush plane trip, go see the tundra, get in the mountains, go see the rivers here. The rivers here are unreal. I mean, maybe I might pay for it, but I haven't filtered my water yet. It's crystal.
I have, but you guys
I haven't.
I have. Yeah, but like the water's crystal, and it's unreal. I mean, we had McGanzers there the other day. You see fish in the creeks, and it's crystal blue. It's flowing just a good pace, and it's just such a cool place. So it's something that I highly recommend.
And just the camp atmosphere is super cool too. Like, it's kind of almost an eerie feeling. Like when we got dropped off and the plane flew away, we all kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Well, we're here. Let's start setting up camp and start." It's just kind of just being this far off the grid. I hate to say that terminology, but this far away from everything. It's just it's a very new experience, and it kind of just adds an element to it, you know.
And we're like 80 to 120 miles from the closest village, but there is hunters. I mean, I'm sure there's hunters 10 miles over there and 10 miles over there.
Still, it's just,
but
you know,
still,
yeah.
I mean, this is as close as you can get to what is remote
Well,
anymore.
I'm pretty sure we hiked to another drop-off point.
Oh
Yeah, we
and
did.
we hit a spot, looked like a landing strip.
It was definitely a landing strip.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a landing strip for sure.
It was definitely a landing strip.
Which our
And,
pilot did say, he goes, well, you know, there is so-and-so up over the hill, but you guys won't get there. Not like anybody in particular, but he called it a spot, and I wish I knew what he said.
because we hit it.
Because
Day one, we got there.
if we had to have. I mean, that is so far up over that hill there.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful spot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to camp there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I wish we would have, but I'm also glad we're this close to the river because it is so nice to be like, oh, my Nalgene's half full. Maybe I'll run down and grab water.
Yeah, like I dumped
Yeah.
water out. I never
I did
dumped
too.
water
Yeah,
out camping. Ever.
I dumped a lot of water out because the river's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never. I hate filling water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big added benefit to being here and everything. So now we have about, I don't know, 40, 50 yards away from camp. We have all of our meat stacked. We have there's actually from other hunters that have been here before. There was some logs basically tied together to kind of keep the meat off the ground for cooling. We draped a tarp over it. Have that kind of set up, and yeah, we're gonna hopefully cook up some meat here and do that. Maybe have a little fire and just enjoy the camp aspect a little bit too.
Hopefully we can have a fire tonight. It's not looking good. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. It's going to rain on that wood again tonight. It's going to be wet again.
We'll be all right for tomorrow morning
We'll
for
figure it
breakfast.
out.
We'll have breakfast.
Oh, breakfast for sure.
Yeah.
Elk. Caribou ribs.
Yeah, we're going to get some caribou rib.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we're
going to
gonna-
be good. It's nice, too, just hanging around camp now that the pressure's off, you know?
Yeah. What just an absolute, again, this just shows that at any time while you're hunting, things can change. And you got to have that positive mindset. What Michael said earlier, like, we had no doubt we were tagging out, and that's not from being cocky. That was just, we're confident that we're not going to stop until we do that. And both of us said in our minds we were going to double.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like, I
multiple
honestly
times.
didn't even have it any other way in my mind.
Mhm.
We either not tagging out at all or we were doubling. Like, and that's, it's, I don't know. I just had that in my mind. That's the way I've thought about this from the beginning, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, we could go up over that hill every single day. We could go up over that hill every single day. We could even go up over this one here because it's pretty cool over there. You could.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you we can find caribou every day. It's 20 hours of daylight. We have the ability to find caribou. So to get on them is one thing, for sure. But I felt pretty confident that we were getting 2 caribou this trip. And everyone said, oh, they'll eventually come through camp. And they literally did. I mean, they went 500 yards right down there.
Yeah.
And 500, 600 yards right down there. And that was it. And then, like you said, not too long, they came through here. So it was cool that they did that. Like, we're not going to be like, they're too close. Let them walk by any means.
Yeah.
But we had everything set if we had to go over, to hike, to hunt. And we it just, what we said, okay, if that has to happen, we will do it.
Well, that was our plan last night.
It was.
We said we're going to glass the morning a little bit, and if we don't see nothing, we're heading up.
Yep,
we're going to run
going over
ridges
the
at that point.
Yeah, we
we literally thought, like, elk hunting mentality. We're going to run ridges and find caribou.
We were fully prepared to go way beyond 2 miles from camp yet again.
Oh, yeah.
if
We had
to.
we had a pretty far loop set.
Yeah, but the thing is, like they say, don't go more than 2 miles from camp, but there's nothing stopping you. Like, yeah, you can shoot one pretty close if things work out, but if things aren't working out, we're not going to sit here for 4 days waiting for them. We're going to glass them up high and go get them.
I'd rather hike up over that hill every day than call and get picked up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not working. Come get us.
Yeah. No. We're here. There's caribou here. We'll get them.
Mhm.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's why it's hunting. It's not just killing. The success rate on these hunts is higher than normal hunts.
And we brought guns to help us on that front.
Absolutely no doubt about that.
Mhm.
But, like, it's up to you to figure out what your hunt's going to look like.
Mhm.
It's about the effort you put into it and what you want in that. We wanted a mountain caribou hunt, essentially. Did we kill them down lower? Yes. But we got an incredible Alaskan experience. I was literally like just smiling as we're slipping down the scree on the side of this back rock. I'm like, I've dreamed of like seeing this, or I've seen this on TV of guys.
And here
doing
we are
this.
hiking through it.
Here we
funny
are.
that we all made it. I do have to say this. We all made it. We get to the edge, and Justin wipes out on a moss patch like hard. I'm like, dude, we made it all the way through that.
I was
and
like,
you ate it here. We went like another 20 yards, and Beau took down.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my.
We were like
goodness,
40
we're
yards
dying.
from being out of the rocks after like a quarter mile of rocks, and there was like a 3 foot long by 3 foot wide patch of moss, and that's what I fell on.
Yep, and it went down hard.
Oh, dude,
hold on, dude. There's something you said there that needs. I guess I need some credit here. My ankles are weak as shit. My ankles, everybody makes fun of me. They're like, oh, the Tundra is like bowling balls covered in moss, which it is. I'm like, well, I'm 110% breaking my ankle. No doubt. I'm planning for it. I'm getting help. I'm hitting the SOS button in reach. Get me out of here.
Day one.
30 G's out. Gone. Yeah. But I only rolled it that one time. It didn't hurt. But we're not done yet.
We did talk that like it'd be funny to have a GoPro strapped to your chest to follow Beau, because when he rolls his ankle, he's rolled it so much that he just like takes the fall with the rest of his body, so he doesn't destroy his ankles and then his knee and then his hip. So it's just a very, I don't know how to say it.
I'll describe it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So through filming, I'm always walking behind Beau.
Yeah.
Just because that's just how it is. Like wherever he goes, I'm behind him. So every time he breaks his freaking ankle, I see it and I just laugh a little bit to myself.
Yeah.
But like there's times where I literally think he's like about to go down hard.
Like he throws his whole body.
He throws
into
his
it.
whole body, all of his gear. Like I think I'm gonna have to like save him from falling off this cliff.
It's
you
like
know?
I've learned like from like they say like with martial arts and everything else, you got to learn to fall. I've learned to fall, like because I know if I try to stop it, I'm gonna really hurt my ankle. But if I start rolling and I just somersault flip into it,
it looks like the most like picture the most dramatic way possible to roll your ankle. Beau does that like twice a day when we're hiking.
And the way you can picture it, times it by 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you get it. But no, it's just funny. But all that to say, I've seen him do it. I've seen him only do it once here. So you must have got them things strengthened up this year.
I don't know, man. I've been building them up. I've been
Probably wearing the Crocs all the time.
I've been wearing Crocs, taking protein, eating Wise potato chips. Really gets me going.
That one time on the backside of this hill up here when you rolled your ankle, that was a really hard roll.
Oh, that was right after the rock screw, which I couldn't believe
that was a funny one. Mm-hmm. Like I felt bad because I clearly remember laughing really hard and then being like, dude, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
But like just the initial watching it
felt
happen.
The comfort. Yeah.
Oh, it was funnier than hell. God, I was laughing.
Because I turned around, I was like, what just happened? And Justin's like kind of blowing a gasket laughing, but he's like, and Beau's like, just rolled my ankle.
I was like, keep moving, guys. It'll freeze up here at any point. Just keep moving.
It was funny.
Yeah.
But no, hey, two bulls out on your back, no ankle issues through rocks, through tundra. I mean,
I might have saw a couple minor ones, but they weren't as dramatic as the one up on the hill.
Yeah. Or like one with this elk.
Oh yeah. That was on a trail too.
That was bad.
Shut up.
His elk one, we're like, Beau, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Like that one was hard.
Oh man.
Are you gonna be all right? You guys just kept moving faster.
No,
you stayed back.
Yeah, and I was like,
Mason
you good?
and John Hallam.
They're like, we
And
can't
me.
have this.
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah, we can't have this. I was like, I was behind him, and I saw what occurred. I mean, he was standing
I have the
upright.
stiffest boots on. I have low Tibet like mountaineering type boots.
I saw his ankle bone and his knee touch the ground, and he's standing up in the air.
2 pieces of leather slapped together. They fold in those boots.
I see just from walking behind Beau, I see him minorly roll his ankle so many times a day that it doesn't even cross my mind.
I don't
anymore.
even think of it. I don't realize I do it.
Every time it happens, I just snicker a little bit. We keep walking, but it's the real dramatic ones that really get me. God, it's funnier than hell.
But no, I mean,
I'm trying to get these.
But we've all
fast
done it.
ankles.
Like I know I've done it
Oh,
several
yeah, me
times.
too.
That Tundra, you step on one of those humps wrong in the grass, and your ankle's gonna roll.
Yeah, but dude, I walked on a sidewalk and my bitch ass ankles came out.
I do say there's like a little bit of a technique. You can kind of hop tuft to tuft
yeah.
if you like judge the size right and judge how.
It's a risky game.
And if it looks like a mushroom, don't hop on
Yeah,
it.
if it looks like it's completely round, don't put your foot on
Stay
that
away.
because something bad's gonna. I did that on one, and I was like, not a good idea. So there is a little game you can play, hop and tuft to tuft, which is funny. Because then when you miss, you blow your ankle out. Then you go into a swampy moss.
And it's a 6-inch drop,
Oh yeah,
6-8 inches. You know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's a pretty big step down if you miss it.
Oh, yeah.
and then you go into mossy water.
yeah.
But it was fun. Your boots are going to be wet, so bring socks. That's another tip.
Bring lots of socks.
There's no chance your boots are going to be waterproofed enough.
No. And none of us came in with ideal boot scenarios for Alaska.
No, we had.
no.
Justin said this is his last hunt with them. These are probably my last hunt with my
This
Loas.
is my last year for mine.
I was
Yeah,
kind of
10 years.
ashamed about myself and the condition of my boots were.
They made
came
it.
up here. They did make it, yeah.
Yep.
But I was like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the last year for mine.
Figure out a way to dry and pull your insoles out at night. I was taking my insoles and shoving them in my jacket, and I was putting them up inside here and laying in my sleeping bag and heating them up a little bit. Don't really help the really cold boots in the morning that much, but it gives you just a little bit more. And I did bring extra insoles, like, because I replaced mine with aftermarket ones, and I never had to use
It's
it.
got mods on
Is that,
Yeah, he bought it out.
is that the right way
Yeah,
to?
I'm running aftermarket
Yeah, what are you
insoles
running
and
for
laces.
insoles? I got mods on mine.
Yeah, I can't even take mine out. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, yours are glued in for some reason.
Yeah, not smart.
I don't think that's right. I
I'm gonna
think
do that
something
to you
happened.
next time we hunt together. I'm gonna glue your insoles in.
Yeah.
just to mess with you.
I don't think they were glued in when I bought them.
I don't know what you
They just
do.
must be seized to the bottom. Must need to get some anti-seize in there.
Anti-seize.
Cree oil and sprayed in there, get them loose.
I will say I tried to take mine out, and they were so jammed in there that I was like, I'm just gonna let them here.
Maybe that's
you know,
what mine are.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Bows were loose because all the ankle rollage gets the foot sole moving.
He rolls his insoles right out of his boots.
Oh, gee.
Shit, that's funny.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That happens.
Yeah. Some of those big jobs.
It definitely is on the bigger job.
Yeah.
On them big jobs, it'll get you going.
That's funny.
Holy cow! Yeah, this hunt's awesome. Like we still have some more days here, so I don't know. We might record another podcast. We might not. We'll see what happens.
Depends
Depends on how
days
far
here.
we get down.
Yeah, we'll get bored.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, the Yukon Jack Hunter proof right now is hitting me half decent. You know, I'm pretty far through this flask and I'm feeling it. You know, you guys got what? Jim Beam Vanilla.
Jim Beam
I
vanilla.
had that at the
cracker.
house. I never cracked it open till here. Man, that'd be good with some Coke.
Oh,
That is probably why my pack was overweight.
No,
no, it's
oh, no, it was not.
12 pounds overweight.
Listen.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll take one.
So a little tech tip here. I keep the old Stanley flask in my kill kit full with a little bit. Obviously not drinking while we're hunting, but have a little celebratory shot when you get an animal down. And then tonight, as we don't really have any more hunting to do besides the 10-mile wolf trek we got tomorrow.
Yep.
And
First
you
thing
can't
tomorrow.
have a real good fire here, so that'll warm you up.
No, we've had wood sitting there for the whole trip, and we haven't even had a chance to really burn it.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to cook up some meat over that for sure.
Yeah.
I got some seasoning and stuff.
That's
that-
going to be goal for tomorrow is definitely cook meat.
Yep. After the 10-mile wolf hunt, cook some meat up.
Nah,
before it.
Before.
After.
And who knows? We might push 10-mile wolf hunt to the next day. What the hell do we got to do?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe we just stand here guard on grizzlies.
We might have to. I've been not really looking hard, but they're here.
I did tell my girlfriend. She's like, "Now, what do you guys do?" I said, "Well, we dry our clothes and we guard our meat for grizzly bears."
Yep.
She's like, "Oh, okay."
It sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
It's-
not. I'm not gonna say they're not that bad, but you definitely have to be aware of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely going to try to soak in as much as I can here. You know, like we'll probably there's a potential we get flown out early, but the next couple of days, like I don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
I want to it's just so awesome here. I think like the more hunts I've gone on, like these adventure style hunts, the more I feel like I do take it in a little bit. Like you just,
Sitting at camp isn't bad here.
no,
Like it's a cool place to sit at camp and look around.
it's amazing. Like I'm not, sitting at the office or sitting at work and like stressing about things, and this needs to be due now, and everything I do in my life is on a strict timeline. It seems like, for the most part, and like you come on to something like this and you don't really have timelines, and you're just like taking this all in. Like we're literally like almost as far north as you could possibly get on this planet.
When you look at the map, you are near the top.
Yeah, and to be able to be here and experience it from, a couple guys from Pennsylvania and a guy from Minnesota that just like, dreamt of this and just made it happen. And it doesn't just like, oh, you just make it happen, but you got to plan for it. You got to budget for it. You got to,
especially when you have the budget, be smart.
Yeah. But
you have to make it happen.
Set the goals, put it on your calendar and go do it.
I say all the time when I'm at work, and it's not to like pound this into anybody, but it's like you have vacation. Or if you do have vacation, use it wisely. Don't just take a Friday off every 5 days, every 5 weeks. Make a trip and be sure that you're actually getting out to see it, especially because there's so much cool things around. Like I've been in a lot of states. I've been in a lot of mountains. I've also been, some of the cool stuff is right here in the United States of America. So make sure you take the time to see this stuff, because there's not a lot of opportunities to come and do the types of things like this. It's not an every year thing. It just, well, if you have a job and you're our age, it's definitely not something you can afford to do every year.
Yeah.
But make sure you set the time aside, use your vacation wisely, and just make sure to take the time to do it, because it's awesome.
Yeah, realize what your cost of living is and what you're making and adjust accordingly. That doesn't mean everybody's the same. That doesn't mean you can't have a nicer vehicle or a nice house. That just means if you're not making very much, then don't try to stretch yourself to do that.
Just take a 5-year plan. Take an 8-year plan.
Yeah, do it.
Anybody can afford this trip in 7 years. I don't make much money at all, and I could come back in 7 years. 5 years probably, to be honest.
I think a $15 an hour job could get you to Alaska every couple years.
Yeah.
That's tough to say, but if you want to say you want to do this, we've all been there. We've all at one point in our life made $15 an hour and lived on that. It's just everyone does it. Now, I'm not saying that number to be specific, but
still doing it.
Yeah.
Videoing for Beau.
Yeah, no, I'm not even making that. Oh, my 20-hour long days, shit.
Yeah, we have those.
Yeah, I can't wait for that invoice.
But no, it's just one of those things, and not preaching by any means whatsoever. This is just such a cool place.
Yeah.
I went to school to be geology, so I love being in the mountains, and this is different, and it's such a cool place.
Oh, totally agree. Like I've preached this a bunch of times, and and you said you don't want to preach. I'm preaching. Like you can do that. Like you can do this, and a caribou hunt like this is probably one of the cheaper ways. I know a Sitka blacktail hunt's pretty close.
Blacktail, caribou, you're on the same pay grade.
Yeah, but you can. We talked about it in one of the previous video podcasts. Go back and listen to it from this hunt series. We talked about the financial breakdowns of it, and you can make that happen. Say you are super busy, got a couple kids, whatever you got going on, got a job that keeps you busy all the time, and you need help plan it. Get a hold of someone like Kyle at Outdoors International.
Oh my goodness, that's a good outlet.
Yeah.
Just find somebody that can help you organize to finally say, this is the day I'm going. Yep. Because now somebody else is like, you now are invested.
Yeah.
Put your 50 down now. Pay 50 when you get here.
And let's go kill a caribou.
Yeah, or not even. Yeah, like take a fishing trip. Go catch halibut.
Yeah.
Go catch salmon. Go to New Mexico, Idaho, Wyoming. Just take the trip.
Yeah. I'd like to try to inspire people, right? Because through filming and photography, I've been very, very fortunate with the lower 48. A lot of cool mountain hunts and stuff like that, but nothing compares to this. Absolutely nothing. And just the fact of being in Grizz country too kind of adds a little bit of something to it.
I like it.
It's I don't know what I like about it, but I like it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I like the idea that at any moment you just aren't paying attention, which I can say we aren't doing the best job right now, but we definitely have our guard down right now. But
got the bear spray close by.
There we go.
They are here, and our guns are definitely right
I actually had to look for it for a second, so if shit was hitting the fan, I don't know if I would have got it.
But it's one of those things. It's one of those things that, you can't live your life sitting here scared of it.
No.
You just have to be aware of it and still hunt. You're here to hunt. So
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Beau's the biggest predator anyway, so
yeah, Beau
bears
already
don't
said
matter.
he is the ultimate.
The ultimate predator. That's what it was.
And I've avoided, getting taken out by him for 28
I came
years.
up with that phrase, FYI.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you trademarked that.
Yeah.
I think somebody else did.
Yeah. Keep hammering. But
That's right.
no. All joking aside, like exactly what they're saying. It's just like what was funny with this hunt, and I don't want to drag this on too long, but like with when we booked through Kyle Hansen Outdoors International, like he was like helped us set us up through these things again. For anyone that's low on time, it's such a big deal. Michael and I looked at each other like normally we're planning these elk hunts or mule deer hunts, and he's like, I feel like I've done nothing. I feel like I'm not prepared, but in reality, we were prepared.
Yeah,
because they're taking care of everything.
They're taking care of everything. We got our gear ready, and we had our expectations. Which they got our
gear
financials
lists.
and stuff. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was.
And
it was
not
amazing.
to mention, I'll let you guys talk on this because I didn't deal with it, but you didn't pay any more for that service, from what I understand.
No.
Zero.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nothing. I go online and I could pay the same I could through them.
Yep.
Why wouldn't?
Why would you not?
You could either.
Not to say anything bad, to down on any of these companies that
Oh,
do it
not at all.
by
No.
any means.
No.
It just is. I used to be up every night scouting, which I miss it a little bit. Online mapping, every avenue of online mapping you can think of. The different outlets for any of the information you can get. I mean, Eastman's magazines. You go through any of these outlets to get any piece of information you can, any online forum. I was just a sponge taking it all in. And for this one, I was going home at night and being like, what do I do for
Nothing
2
to do.
hours?
And for a hunt like this, it's so nice. I mean, I'll let you guys go again, but having that security of knowing that you're not really missing anything. Because there could be one detail of this trip that you overlook and it could screw you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many logistics that come to it, and that's not to scare anybody, but you just have to have your ducks in a row, and that's what Kyle's helped us do that a lot.
And for anybody that's been here, because I know people are probably like, oh, they're blowing out of the water. Your first trip here, if you could think back to it, there was probably a lot of checklists you had to go over multiple times, because this is a place that in any moment you could be socked in for a significant period of time.
Days.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just a known thing. You don't plan, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like if you have your plan set, I'm doing this today, probably don't do that.
Yeah.
Be flexible, roll with the punches, because we were supposed to be about 20 miles that way.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, and then halfway here, the winds got too bad.
Yep.
We had to get dropped off in this spot, you know, and that's so right. If like for hunts like this, I'm learning that for most hunts, but like,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
need to be able to roll with those punches, because what you have envisioned in your head rarely works out that way. Have that positive attitude, but understand that you have to. It don't matter if you're whitetail hunting. It don't matter if you're elk hunting, caribou hunting, grizz hunting, whatever it is. Like, you got to be able to adapt to the scenario and have that positive mindset with it, because if you start falling down and thinking like, hell, like,
Did I pick the right stand? Didn't I pick the right stand? Listen, if you scouted it and you put a stand there and the wind's good,
I still have a problem with that.
that's tough. That's tough. But you just got to be like, there's a reason I have a stand there. There's a reason I've scouted that area. The wind's good. Do it.
Yep.
The pilot, he knows that spot up there is good. This is his backup spot. He knows this spot's good. He had no doubt. He literally he said, they're going to probably come up from over there.
And that was the first spot we saw.
The first spot we saw him. Yep.
Actually, we saw none come from behind us.
Correct.
They all came from that hill.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's just something that he knows.
We also weren't looking real hard behind us, but pretty sure they all come from there.
Yeah. No, I mean, we definitely did look. It's not that hard to look.
I
cover
glanced
that.
up there every couple hours, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Nah. But it's just, it's one of those things.
I took a shit back there once. I looked up there.
Yeah, that Yukon's hitting them. But no, it's one of those things, like, once you have your plan set, do it. Especially, tree stand hunting, elk hunting. Hey, I know elk hunting, you got to definitely be able to adapt. So, it's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yep. But 10 out of 10 recommend for sure.
100%. Do this hunt. You'll have a freaking blast. Whether it's bow or rifle, doesn't matter. It doesn't change the experience.
This was a bow kill. Just I used a gun.
I like your guys' mentality of bringing the gun because, like, your first time to Alaska, you may or may not ever come back. Like, it's nice to go home with something, right? And you guys are both bow hunters.
Oh, yeah.
For the most part, but it's nice to
way prefer it.
to come up here and have success and have a good time. And who knows, maybe a couple years down the road you come back, then go with your bow.
And I just set up a sweet butcher shop in my house, so I definitely had to like make it worth my while because I'm like,
Facebook Marketplace butcher shop.
Oh yeah, Facebook Marketplace is my favorite thing when it comes to doing stuff. Oh, I could go on for an hour and a half on that, but yeah. So I got to get this thing put to use.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm a bow hunter, true, but like I'm not too proud to want to do anything with a rifle. Like I've actually really enjoyed this process of hunting with a rifle.
I will hunt with a rifle next year on that hunt.
I'm gonna try to do something with the rifle again soon. Maybe a spring bear hunt. Maybe Justin will go with me. Maybe I don't want him. I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
The cool thing for me now is I know I have a weakness in shooting a rifle, and I know I have all the avenues.
And that drives you
better.
Nuts.
Yo, yeah, for sure. Next year I will be set up, and I have, like Beau said earlier, I have a friend that's a Navy SEAL sniper. I have a friend that's a gunsmith that knows everything there is to know about, rifles and chambering and rounds that are ideal. State police that are friends, or that all these avenues to be a good shot. So next year I will 100% be above and beyond where I was this year.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement.
So that's going to be cool to do next year.
Yep. There's always things to learn, always things to get better at.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to self-assess like that, it's a pretty big deal. Yeah. Well, what do you think, guys? Anything else you want to add here?
No, I'm good.
No, I think we're all set.
Mm-hmm. Let's have some enjoyment the next 2 days so we can do another podcast. And
I got about this much left. If you're watching the video, I got about this much left of the flask, maybe a little less. And we got a little bit of
We put a good dent on that since we started.
We got a decent amount of a fifth of a Jim Beam vanilla left.
We might have to call in and be like, you can't pick us up, drop us 2/5.
Yeah.
Just drop it out of the plane.
Drop out of the plane.
Third rack.
I'm going to try to enjoy this, have some fun with the guys here, not get too drunk where I can't see the grizzly coming in. I think there's 3 of them and there's one. Try to get in that mode. But no, just messing around. But we're going to enjoy ourselves and yeah, just
it'll be a good time.
Great time. Yep.
Love it, dude. We're in Alaska. If you guys are listening to this, hopefully this inspires you to go do it. Do it. Like, let me know. Like, this is going to be awesome. The film is going to come out soon. We're not going to put a date on it.
He looks right at me.
Yeah.
I would like to think.
Let's hear it.
I'm just going to shoot high. 4 months from now.
There we go.
Yeah, no, realistically, I would love to have it out by, like, the 10th of October.
All right. That's realistic. Yep.
Actually, maybe the 15th because I get back on the 10th. I would like to do it before that.
Yeah, we're gonna try towards the end of September. If not, middle of October is our goal with this film.
I have a couple wings between now and then, so you guys don't have to worry about releasing it right away.
Perfect.
Just do it around my time schedule. I have no part in it.
No, but we're gonna try to get this turned around pretty quick. People be able to see it, so then you can plan for next year. If this is something you see and you want to do, you're able to get ready and plan.
December's the time you really want to be calling for these hunts. You don't want to be waiting longer than December.
And caribou hunts, just FYI, are starting to increase in price. And
about 10%.
If you want to do it, you want to do it sooner than later. I know I just said, like, have a plan out, and you still can. But just FYI, they are starting to go up. The herds numbers aren't getting better. They've kind of flatlined a little bit from declining a lot. They're starting to get a little bit better, but not great. So and the demand is high. I mean, I know I'm not helping that, but let's, if you're trying to do that, try to get something planned, by December or so, and give my buddy Kyle Hansen a call at Outdoors International. He might be able to help you out with this hunt or any others, and that's all I got.
For sure. Sounds good.
I think we covered it pretty good.
All right, guys, we'll enjoy the rest of the night, and
cheers.
Later.